888-467-4200. 888-467-4200 or diamondformulas.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the PM Show with Larry, Nancy Manetti, our good buddy Will Link, your link to the movies. And talking about movies, we have the crooner himself, James Darren. And I got to tell you guys, when I think back to my days growing up and watching, one of my favorite all-time shows was Gidget. Absolutely. Could not get that cute little surfer chick out of my mind. And I remember the coolest guy.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, thank you. The coolest guy on that show was James Darren, of course, Moondoggy, who he always had the right answer. He always knew what was cool, man. Always knew what was going on.
Yeah, he was the dude. Jimmy.
How are you guys doing, for God's sake?
We're doing good. We're very excited.
Jimmy!
Nancy wants her meatballs back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're getting them.
You're the thief of my meatballs, kiddo.
You're not getting them back.
Every time Jimmy comes to our house for dinner, I have to make him meatballs. And every time he leaves, he's got a sack of meatballs under his arm when he walks out.
Yeah, we love it.
I confiscate every one I can.
I know. I love you, honey. You
so,
can
Jimmy,
have all you want.
Yes.
You've been busy man, huh? You were up in Vegas?
Yeah, and then I went to Baltimore, and then I went to your hometown, Chicago.
Yeah, that's cool.
To do the Italian Fest, which was great. Oh, I had a terrific time. And, there's thousands of people there. I mean, I don't know if they have 4,000 or 5,000 people or more that go to that festival. And great food, of course, the Chicago beef and sausage and peppers. I mean, it's a good thing I only was there one day. Otherwise, I'd be about 200 pounds over.
Oh, I remember that place. That's a landmark. So,
yeah.
And then this Friday, aren't you somewhere in New Jersey singing?
I go to Vineland, New Jersey, which is just outside Philadelphia or outside Atlantic City, and up to a place called the Landis Theater, and I do a show there 8 o'clock Friday, August 24th.
That's really, boy, I tell you, you never stop.
I don't know. I'm getting tired. Then I go to Atlanta.
Oh,
there.
Wow.
And then I'm coming to your house to have some meatballs.
That's right. We're going to enjoy that.
I'll make an extra batch just for you to take home.
You know, Jimmy, I think you are the last of the Sinatra era crooners.
Well, you're always too kind to me.
No, but it's true, and I love a good singer, and James Darren is undoubtedly the best. He's just fantastic, and Frank used to love him. And you were good friends with Dean too, weren't you?
Well, yeah, not so much with Dean. Of course, with Frank and with Sammy too. Sammy and I were really good friends.
Well, aren't you godfather to one of Sinatra's granddaughters?
I'm godfather. Eddie and I, my wife and I, are godparents to Frank's first grandchild, Nancy's daughter, Angela Jennifer.
Yeah.
AJ, who now has a baby of her own, a beautiful little girl named Miranda, and she's absolutely gorgeous.
And she has a radio show too, doesn't she?
Oh man, I tell you, she is great. AJ is so good on the air, it's incredible. She and Mel Torme's daughter, Dixie, they're fabulous. I mean, I can't believe it sometimes. Knowing both of them. And I hear them, I say, boy, they have it down.
That's great. You got to be so proud of them.
I am.
That's great.
Yeah.
So listen, I want to back you up a minute because I know how you started, but I don't think a lot of the people out there know how you started. And when you started, you were a little boy, and your dad, am I right? Didn't he drag you off to the different saloons and nightclubs?
What happened was I was so young, Larry. I was, I don't know, 14 years old, maybe, maybe even younger, and I wanted to sing. So he would take me around because he had friends who were like MCs in different bars and clubs around Philly and South Jersey. So he'd have to be with me. I was underage, and I'd get up and sing a song or two or three, depending, and then we do that maybe a couple times a week, 3 times a week. Because my dad had to get up very early in the morning, and we'd be out till 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning.
Wow.
He had to get up at 4:30 because he worked at the Navy Yard in South Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was great. I mean, I remember one night we went to a place called the White Elephant, and on the bill was a saxophone player and a stripper. And I sang with the sax player. So,
That's
I
good.
wanted to sing with the stripper, but
Yeah. You probably sang to the stripper.
I did. The sax player, that's right. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but so you started singing when you were a little guy, but
Right.
then when did you get the acting bug?
Well, I was always like a clown in the sense that I would do things. I know this is going to sound bizarre to your listeners and maybe to you and Nancy as well, but I'd go into the John and I'd wet my face and I'd put toilet paper on it and mold different features from the toilet paper.
Wow.
Because when it's wet, you can mold it.
Yeah.
And then I'd take my mom's eyebrow mascara thing.
Yeah.
And I'd make an eyebrow, but my eye would actually be covered. So it was just an eyebrow without an eye, and the other eye would be, it wasn't covered. So anyway, I'd do that, and then I'd go out the bathroom window, walk around down the alley, walk around to the front of the houses on the street, on 10th Street where I lived in Philly, and knock on neighbors' doors.
Oh, jeez.
And they thought, they told my grandmother, your grandson's weird. He's really weird. Now, remember, most of them, we got to remember this, most of them were immigrants.
Yeah, from Italy, yeah.
Either from Italy or some from Greece, mostly Italian or Jewish or Greek.
Yeah.
And, they... And the ones who were Jewish were from Europe, the European Jews.
Sure.
And they thought I was the wackiest guy, and that I was always interested in playing like a character of some type.
So now I know why all my toilet paper's missing after you leave my house.
You notice that I used to guest bathrooms.
So you had an artistic. You had an.
Well, you know what?
Mood.
I should never have told you that story because what I should have done was gone to come when I come to your house.
Yeah.
I should have gone to the guest powder room and molded this thing on my face and then come out and you would think I was some lunatic.
The year isn't over yet.
Yeah, but now you know the secret.
Yeah, but Halloween is coming.
Now you know the secret.
So you started out, but what made you go to Stella Adler?
I had read that Marlon Brando had studied with this woman in New York who was considered one of the great drama coaches. She was from the Actors Studio originally. Her brother Jay and Luther Adler, and a whole bunch of other people. John Garfield, who I know you love, and I love too. So I read about that, and I went to New York by train, and and you have to audition for her class, and I auditioned, and I passed the audition, and I went there for about 2.5 years, and then I tried to get an agent, and I asked her, I said, what do I need to get an agent? They don't want to talk to me. Well, she said, you need pictures. You have to have photographs. If not, they can't rep you, because they're not going to take you around to every buyer or whatever. So anyway, I was walking down Broadway one day, and I randomly chose this photographer. His name was Maurice Seymour, and it said, Maurice Seymour, photographer to the stars. And in the window, Nance and Larry, they had all these pictures of entertainers, not actors necessarily.
Hey, Jimmy, hold on just 1 second, buddy. We're going to a break. We'll be right back. Okay, hang in
I
there,
want
buddy.
to hear the rest of it.